Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and welcome to the Core of Discovery, a game set in the world of Manifest Destiny, produced by Off the Page Games. I have been looking forward to this game all year, especially after I played it for you guys on Tabletop Simulator about a year or so ago when this was on Kickstarter. Off the Page Games is basically known for taking graphic novels, visual novels, and converting them into board game form. Mind Management, Harrow County, those are like their two big ones out right now. They do have one that's either on Kickstarter right now or coming soon to Kickstarter, so keep that in mind as well. Image on screen right now because I don't remember the name of it offhand, but I do want to point it out regardless of anything. And then this itself, of course, is based off of, as stated in the title, the world of Manifest Destiny, which is an adventure story that takes place with Lewis and Clark. Do those names sound familiar to anybody? Explorers across, moving west across America, discovering things, Sacagawea, all their other fun stuff. But instead of them just discovering random things in America, they are going to be confronting and trying to deal with monsters and myths and legends and giant plants and all kinds of crazy stuff. And it is an awesome, awesome adventure, and the game works so well with it. First thing you're going to want to do when you set up the game is you're going to want to pick what map you are doing. I am playing 1015. One of the things I did get from the Kickstarter are a bunch of extra maps for each one of the chapters. There are 16 different maps just for fauna. For flora, there's 16. I think there's 16 for all of them. I'm straight up right now, FYI, yes, spoiler alert. I will be opening these up and showing them and showing you the layouts and everything for this and everything. Unless you have a photographic memory, then I'm going to guarantee you will not remember anything about what this are. This game has such a high replayability to it, which is fantastic because you can just throw in a new map. Just start from 1, work your way to 16. By the time you go back to 1, there's no way you can remember it. This is the 5th time I've played this game. I've played through 5 maps already. Number 2, 4, 7, and was it 8 or 9? I can't remember. And even then I can't remember. I could go back and play 2 and completely forget where everything is on the map. So huge, huge replayability for this. So that's what you want to worry about. You want to figure out what map it is. Again, spoiler, 1015. When you put this into here, it's actually going to have it be covered by this like white sheet. So you're going to slide this and the main map into it. Before you pull this out, you're going to want to put each one of these little tokens on them. And these tokens have like a little sun symbol on the bottom. So you just flip it over, place it into the spot. It goes in, it's grooved in that way, and then boom from there. I am playing this on the deluxe edition of the game, so I believe this is a little bit thicker of a board than you would get from the standard one. A lot of my other pieces, instead of them being wooden wooden cardboard pieces, are actual thick tokens. I love them. They're amazing. I do highly recommend if you can get this. But my game, other than visually, will be exactly the same as yours if you just got it on retail. After you figured out your map, you're going to want to figure out what characters and what gear you're bringing into your game. I am playing this one true solo. There is the only difference between true solo and the other 2 to 4 players is the amount of gear everyone gets, which is strange because once you get to I think 3 players is the hardest because in 1 player, you get 3 different gear. It is highly recommended you take the medicine with you for your 1-player game, which I'm going to do anyway, so that is that. So I have 3 gear, 4 if you count the medicine. In a 2-player game, everybody gets 2 gear, so that's 4 gear on the field. 3 players is 3 gear, and 3 players is 1 gear per person. There's only 3 on the field. 4 players is 1 gear per person, so there's only 4 gear on the field. I feel like in 3 players, the medicine should have been an okay thing to play for 3 players, just because it would just make an even amount of gear for each player count. That's just my personal opinion. Anywho, I have chosen to play as Lewis, one half of the Lewis and Clark team. It's fun going back through TTS, just seeing the old abilities of these and then knowing what the final one is. He is a researcher. Exhaust before exploring. Basically what that means is exhaust is turning him sideways. He's using the ability that is on his card. He will not refresh until the night phase. And then exploring is when you choose to start pulling these pieces from the board. So I would need to exhaust him before I explored. Whatever resources under there, I would gain 2 of instead of 1. Very, very, very helpful. The gear I brought right here are the porter, medicine, the compass, and the jar. Again, the medicine is separate. It does not count for your gear, but I'll talk about that in a moment. The compass is before you exhaust before you explore, same thing as Lewis's ability. If I correctly guess the terrain I'm about to explore, I would discard the path token instead of using it towards the challenge, which is great because that buys me more time. Very popular item. I think every game needs to have that regardless. Mortar and pedestal, exhausting it. I can do that at any time during my turn. I can discard any 2 resources or water and gain a different resource or water. I think it's either 2 resources or 2 water. I don't know if I can mix and match that, like do 1 resource and 1 water. Guys, let me know down in the comment section below. It is one thing that I have an issue with this, is that there's some, I guess, edge cases or whatever that aren't really fully explained that I wish were a little bit more detailed, and this being one of them, but I think it's 2 resources or 2 water. You can't do 1 and 1. But in either case, fantastic for kind of cycling out things that you have and getting stuff that you need in order to pass challenges. In addition to that, we have the jar. When I exhaust this, I can place 1 resource, not water, from my supply board, and I can put this on the card. So I'm basically taking it out of my backpack and putting it in a jar. At night, it duplicates. So the item that I put in plus a duplicate of the one that I just did, plus 1 more, go onto my supply board. So it's a great way in order to gaining more items of stuff that I may not be able to find right away. And finally, we have the medicine right here. This is the training gear. You exhaust this to refresh 1 character or gear. So I would exhaust something, and then I can exhaust this to unexhaust something else and then play it. Very fun with the jar, because I can actually putting 2 things in the jar and getting a bunch of stuff at the end of the day. At the end of the game, if you're doing any type of points, -5 points in a 2, 3, or 4 player game. Again, I really think that should have just been a 2 or a 4 player game. Highly recommend this for a 1 player game, without a doubt. There was never a time that I would do full solo without it. I actually also recommend it in a 3 player game because you just have 1 less gear in total. It does not count towards gear limit, and that is a great thing. And then over here we have our challenge and backpack board. Basically, this board is everything else that you need for the game. And this is also a communal thing. I'm not like this isn't Lewis's board. Every player, no matter your player count, will be using this board. That's what I love about this game, is that there's very little, if any, difference at all between 1, 2, 3, and 4 player game, where some games you just have these like weird, wacky rules that change it around and everything. Nothing like that at all for this. I love it. It's fantastic. Full co-op game as well. What we have here are our challenges. The challenges are the main things that we got to worry about for each one of our days. Every day will consist of 3 challenges. You'll notice up here on a challenge card, there is a sun symbol with a number in it. That is how many of these little tokens that we pull off the board that we need to go through in order to trigger the challenge. Think of this as like hours. So 5 hours out of this day, we are going to need to approach the arch. If I flip over a piece on the board and reveal it, it goes up here. That is 1 hour closer to this resolving. Once 5 happen, then I would go into my backpack and see if I have a wood. I can choose then to pay that wood in order to gain the pass effect, which in this case is a berry. Hooray, hurrah. We need that for the end of the day. I could also choose to just completely fail it. I may need the wood for something else. Get rid of that. Don't care. In that case, then we would still gain a berry, but we would lose water. So there are pass-fail consequences for each one of the days. In addition to that, there is a general consequence as well that triggers after you have completed it. This would come off the board. I just moved it aside for now. When revealed, which will be once this has been finished, you lose the water if you are fatigued. And what that means is that you're carrying more than your backpack allows you to carry. There is a way around that, which I'll talk about in a moment, but if you have a 5 or 6 pieces in your backpack, you are fatigued, you would lose a water. And then if there's any monsters on the field, their consequences would activate. The monsters we're gonna meet in this game will not have any consequences, so don't worry about that. Let's actually just go ahead and throw these challenges up right now because we need to get this going. Oh my goodness. School of Fish, build a net. Okay, so with this little symbol here, right here, this little bite mark or like teeth, this shows that this is specifically for the fauna map. So you're gonna find these consequences cards, shuffle them into your challenge deck. There's base challenges, which have no symbol, and then whatever it is you're playing will have its own symbol on it. So this is only for fauna. I would need to spend this is really hard, a mud, a vine, and 2 water. And then if I have a fire, which is these down here, I would gain a food. If I had 2 fire, I would gain 2 food. Failing this loses 3 water, ew. and I would lose a destiny card if I had one. If I didn't have a destiny card to lose, there is no additional consequence to that. So that's not, it's bad, but it's not the worst. Hey, look, we built school for fish, and now we are fishing, basically. We need to build a fishing pole, so we would need wood, a vine, and a water, which we have water down here already, and we can find more. If we have a fire, we'd be able to cook the fish we caught in order to be able to gain a food. Failing it would be losing 2 water and gaining what is called a sample. A sample is this little thing right here, and what they do is they clog up spaces within your backpack. We don't like them, we don't want them, we want to get rid of them. You can discard any resource or any one resource or any one water in order to get rid of it, but you know, we don't want that regardless. Okay, so what are other things here on this board that we have to pay attention to? First, it's we'll start with the fire. To build a fire, you would need 2 wood or 2 stone. There is an item that reduces that as well. Fire is great, as you can see, because it gives you benefits depending on your challenges. In other expansions, specifically the plant one, Flora, fire is your main way of destroying other creatures that pop up on the field. So making a fire not bad. You can only have a maximum of 3 fire. If you do something and you don't like the ultimate result of it all, you could spend 2 fire to basically backtrack to the beginning of that turn. So you're rewinding everything you're doing. Anything that you spent, anything that you revealed, anything that you gained would go immediately backwards in time. Really cool effect in a sense, you know, just like you could do something and then rewind and then either prep to do the same thing again, but now you have like items that you want to use or something like that. Like there's a lot of stuff that can be done with backtracking. I need to utilize it more. Over here is our backpack. As I mentioned before, we can have up to 4 items in here, no problem, plus 2 more. We can hold 6 items and not take the fatigue, hindrance or whatever, if we build a shelter. We need to find this symbol on the field, which is a field, I should say. We have to find this on the map. And then once we find that, we can discard any 2 different resources here. So a wood and a mud, a wood and a skull, a mud and a skull, or whatever. And then from doing that, we'll be able to take this little item here, put it on the board, and we are no longer taking the fatigue penalty. Thank you for that. So we can have 6 in our backpack and then not have to worry about it otherwise. We start the game with 8 water, so keep that in mind as well. You'll be able to know because it is a different color water symbol here, so you just kind of line them up there. We do have space for 2 more water in our backpack. And then now, once we have gone through all of this and we have completed that, actually before we do that, let's throw down these Destiny cards. Destiny cards are a one-time use, really powerful effect that you get by either card effects. Some gear will give you Destiny cards, or you can get it by unveiling things in the map, which I'll talk about that in a moment. You will reveal 2 Destiny cards at first. So I got some moss here. Discard to place a food token on the end of day area. This will be eaten at the end of the day. So that's fantastic because that means that this food token that would be in your backpack would actually be here and you don't have to worry about it. Oh my goodness, I have to get that. And then make allies. Gain any one resource or water that you currently have. Ooh, I like both of those. Whenever you gain a Destiny card, you can either choose one of the 2 that are face up, or you can take one from the top. Once one is gone, then it gets replaced. Now, before I start talking about what makes the Fauna chapter unique, let's just go over the last bit of thing here, how to win and how to lose the game. Because we're playing Fauna, you win the game by killing 3 Minotaurs. They will pop up as we go along and finding monster dens. That's what the little skull thing is here for. That's actually these symbols right there as well, little skull things and everything. We find one of those on the field. We immediately gain the skull as a resource, so that would go into our backpack, and then we would flip a threat card. There are 6 cards in here, 4 of them in Minotaurs. 2 of them are very bad things that'll happen, and we'll worry about them as we go along. At the end of the day, we do 5 hours, 3 hours, and 3 hours and finish up all of this. The end of the day immediately triggers once this card has finished resolving. We need to at least pay 1 food at the end of the day. If we do not pay this food, we starve and we immediately lose the game. That is one way to lose. The second way to lose is that if we go to spend water for any way necessary, as you can see, there's a lot of water usage for cards and things like that, and we don't have the water to spend, we immediately lose. We dehydrate, we immediately lose. So we can't feed everyone, we lose. If we, don't have any water here, we lose. And then if we go to put challenge cards out on the field and we can't, so it's like we need to put a challenge card and there is no more here, then we have taken too long. The world has, decided that, the timer is over and then that's it. That's a rare occurrence, but it is something that could possibly happen. So that is the 3 ways to lose. There are other scenarios in the game that have other lose conditions, but that's all we have to worry about right now. Once we feed everybody, we go through the night phase. If there's no monsters in play, we would reveal a threat card. So then no matter what, if there's no monsters, we would reveal this and then do that. Refreshing all characters and gear so everything becomes unexhausted, and then 3 new challenge cards come into play. Speaking of play, why don't we just go ahead and get ourselves rolling right now, so this way you can see it in action and know exactly how this works. The game itself is a exploration style hidden game where you're going to be, again, revealing the spots here and then, collecting stuff as you go along. But what's cool about this is it's kind of like a Minesweeper, Sudoku, puzzly style thing where every time you reveal something, there's a hint on the side that gives you an idea about what could be next to it. So, for example, we know that E4, and they're very hard to see, but it's like there's numbers down here on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then letters going down this way, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We find E4 in the middle, and we know that that is the peak of a mountain. The mountains are stone. You gain stone, and as we can see over here, all mountains are connected. So within this area, there's a bunch more mountains, and I think that's the only place you would find them on the field as well. In addition to that, mountains have a red circle around them, which means you can't explore from them, but I'll explain that when we get a little bit closer. With that said, we are allowed to start anywhere in column 7, and this will be our start point for the expedition. There is one unique rule for this map saying that the fortress is adjacent to both a wood and a teepee. So it's on one side will be wood and one side is going to be a teepee. They also could be horizontal as well, and this could be flipped. So this side could be wood and that could be a teepee, or this could be a wood and that could be a teepee, but that's kind of how they flow in that way. It can kind of rotate and do kind of whatever. So keep that in mind. While that is a unique rule for map 15 that I'm playing right now. Why don't we just go ahead and grab this one and we can see what first we get. So our first exploration is, it's a hill. Wow, that's amazing that I found a hill so soon. Hills are special spots. They give you a good view over the row and the columns that you're looking at. You also get to remove the sun, so I'm not putting this on my challenge card, but I get to take another turn. What this is also telling me is that there are 2 fortresses within this map. So fauna is fortresses up here or this way. So within this row or column, I will find 2 fortresses. That's explained better right here as it shows X, which is the number revealed, which was 2. How many fortresses are within the row and column that it's in, and then of course you take another turn. Finding fortresses is important because the only way we can kill minotaurs is through the help of the people within the fortresses. They will tell us exactly how to kill a minotaur, and then we have to find monster dens, which draws threat cards, putting minotaurs down on the board. So keep that in mind as well. We need to find minotaurs in order to kill them, but we need to find fortresses as well in order to know how to kill them. In addition to that, we have exploration rewards. If we complete an entire column, we gain a destiny card. That is one way of getting a destiny card. Fantastic ability. I like the gear that does it as well, but I didn't take that with me this time. And then if we do a, what is that? A horizontal row, is that vertical, right? Vertical, horizontal? Yeah. We get to discard a threat card and then draw a new one. So if there's a really bad misfortune that comes out, I can finish an entire row, get rid of it, but then I draw a new one, which in this case could be a minotaur or it could be something worse, and then just kind of go from there. All right, so that doesn't really help me at all in terms of just what could be here. I just know there's fortresses up and around. I'm going to just kind of go up and down here. I don't think there could be a monster den anywhere in here, but you know, I almost grabbed this one, so let's grab this one first. Yeah, another hill. Okay, so this is actually a better example of this as well. There are no fortresses here or here, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces could be well, 2 of these 5 spaces are fortresses. So I know there's 2 fortresses along this way. The thing is, though, I know this is a mountain, so I have to go around it in order to find the other fortresses. I bet you one of these two are fortresses. And I haven't even done anything yet with the challenge, so I'll go through that. I should go through that soon. I'm just going to go down here and grab this one and see what we got here. We got a water. Okay, so now we actually have a resource that we found. So now this piece right here is going to go up there, so we know that we are 1 hour closer, and then I can go ahead and put this here because we have found a water. What's also great is because we found a water, we can now figure out other things. So water is always orthogonally adjacent to wood. There could be multiples. So it's like, we know this has to be wood because it's the only other orthogonal spot connected to this water. So you could take a resource, if you're unsure, you can leave it as a question mark, or you can put it like actually the way it is because you know for a fact that there's wood there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to exhaust Lewis, because before I research that or explore that area, I will get 2 of whatever is in there. I could do the compass in order to burn a turn and like kind of work towards other things, but I'm not going to use that yet. Instead, I say that that is wood for sure. I don't need to call it. I get whatever it is, but there we go. Yep, I knew it. There is a piece of wood. So this goes right up here. So that is hour number 2. And now I have 2 pieces of wood instead of 1, thanks to his ability. Now, it's still my turn. I haven't chosen to do anything. I can spend these 2 in order to get a fire, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to keep exploring. Because now I'm pretty sure that either this is water or this is water. One of those 2 have to be, because again, wood will always be, oh, you went down in here, orthogonal to wood. Water is always orthogonal to wood. That's what I meant. That's what this is. The other thing is I got to remember is that wood has Sudoku rules where there's only one of them in every column or row. So, I mean, I know that any one of these can be wood, but none of these on this very bottom row are wood, and none of this is wood anymore either. Now that I've started to explore a little bit more, I can actually explore from different areas. You can always explore from a spot that you've explored previously. You just can't jump off of a red circle spot. So I can actually explore here, 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 or here. I'm going to go here just because I want to know what this is. And I got a few more hours before that other thing happens. Hey, that's a piece of mud. That is another great piece of information. All right, so we're going to put this here. And we know the mud is right there. So that's awesome. We need that for this for sure. The question is, do I really want to spend my wood? I need wood for here. I could spend my wood. Now it's a matter of what to do with your resources as things happen. I have 3 here. I have only 2 more to go. But anyway, as I was saying, this is a great piece of information because according to this, mud will always be orthogonal to both water and rock. So rock has to be orthogonal to it somewhere. Because this is here and all rock spaces are connected, this has to be rock as well, which leads me also to believe that this has to be water because, I mean, it may not be water. It's possible that this could be water and that could be water as well. I don't think so. I'm like 99.9% sure that this is water right here. Because if that's water, then the vines got to be here because the rule for the vines is that they're in the same column as rock. So I think one of these has got to say this is the deduction value that you have for all this, trying to figure out what's what and where things are. All right, so I think what I'm going to do then is instead of using my compass, do I want to use my compass now in order to just kind of burn this? You know what? I will. I'll go ahead and I will exhaust my compass and I'm going to call the terrain. I'm going to say that this is rock. And if I am correct, not only will I receive the rock, but this token, which is a rock, perfect, this token does not go on the board. So that's still going to be set at 3 right there, which is awesome. And now we have a rock. All right, so with that said, it's good to have just these extra resources sometimes in order to be able to exchange things out. I just really wanted that to kind of prove that I knew that that was a rock. So now we got to kind of work our way around here because I know for a fact as well that the fortresses are somewhere within here. There are 2 of them right here, which is awesome, which means there's a lot of teepees and other things within this area. So I got to watch out for that as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab I'm going to take this water off because I don't need to call it for anything, but I'm going to see what this one is. That's my next turn. A vine. All right, cool. So that's going to go on my board. So now we have 4 right here, and we have a vine, which is great because, do that. That is amazing because now we have a fire for this turn. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spend, I know I need it for approaching the arch, but I'm just going to fail that. I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to do that in order to gain, as I throw things around, a fire. I like having at least one fire around for reasons like this school of fish, because food is super, super important, especially because you don't want to die. And then all this gets moved down, which is nice. It is possible for me to find another stick somewhere, but you know, we'll see what we can do. All right, so I'm going to go for this one next and see what we have right here. I don't need anything else. Can I make any predictions? I think it might be, it could very well either be mud or rock. I'm going to go with one of those two. If this is mud, then I know for sure that this is water without any hesitation, but could also be rock. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3. It is mud. Okay. So with that being mud, I know for a fact this is water, and that's good to know because if I start running out of water later, that's a guaranteed spot and I can use Lewis's ability in order to gain more. All right, so we got a piece of mud right there. Don't worry about those berries. We put that right there. I can still do free actions and other things along that ways. I can use items and stuff in order to be able to do other things to prep for this, but I'm going to say that that is the end of my turn. I have now activated approaching the arch. All 5 suns get removed from the board, and this triggers. I'm not going to be spending the wood. However, I will unfortunately lose a water because of it, but I gain a berry. Now, the problem is that I just realized is that I gained the berry now, and that adds it in there, and now I am fatigued, and I don't like that because I have to get rid of this, and I lose a water because of it. So again, good thing that I know where that water is specifically in order to be able to get it back a little bit later. However, now I got to start, I mean, I already did this. That's done technically. I do need to now work about that. All right, let's see. What else have we got? Getting a Destiny card would be awesome right now, especially that one that feeds my god. So we're just going to keep going up this way. I'm going to grab this one next, which is mud. So mud, again, needs to be adjacent to rock and water. So this water right here actually fulfills this. I actually think this is water up here, and that's got to be a rock because it needs to be adjacent to both rock and water. And the only way for this to be rock, rock is never on the outside of the map. It's never on that. So actually, with that noted, I could put a rock here because those attach, and I'm just going to put a question mark right here on this one because rock will always touch each other. So this, we knew that's the peak, so that's for sure rock. It's touching this one. It has to be able to touch this one somehow, so it goes up and connects that way. Very likely that is a rock too. All right, so that's the first one right here, and we do have another mud. What do I want to do? I know mud is very important, especially when it comes to later stuff. I don't want to be without too many things. I also don't have a spot to build a shelter. I wish I could build a shelter at this point. All right, what am I going to do next? All right, I really should refill up my canteen. Having too few water at this point is going to be problematic. So we're going to go ahead and exhaust my medicine, and we're going to unexhaust Lewis, which I'm going to exhaust him again, and then we'll go to the map, and we're going to go right here. I'm very certain this is water, and if that's the case, then I will gain 2 water instead of 1. Flipping this is a water. All right, fantastic. All right, so we'll put that here for number 2, water and water. Here's the other thing. Whenever you find a resource, you place it in your backpack. Your backpack actually can hold unlimited resources. It's just at the end of your turn, you have to discard down to your maximum number. So anything I find on my turn does still count for being in my backpack. It's just at the end of my turn, if it's over the limit, I need to get rid of stuff. That's why I wanted to wait, because at least for this point, my turn will consist of triggering this next time, And then I can actually get rid of stuff and move it down and everything. So whatever I grab now, it will still be in the backpack, and I can use it for like spending on this, maybe make another fire something, who knows. What's also funny is just based off of this information and everything, I know that this has got to be wood, because wood is Sudoku rules. 1 in 1 column and 1 in 1 row. This means that there is no wood going up this way. So this right here has got to be, that's either another rock, or I think it's mud. I personally think that that one's mud because it follows. Actually, I'm just gonna call it as mud. I'm gonna definitely say it's mud then, which is good because I can use that for later. I don't need a stick right now. I will at some point, so we're just gonna leave that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue moving our way west this way. I'm gonna open up this one and see what it is. Oh no! Okay, we have found our first monster den. Oh joy. Okay, so we know that this is going to trigger. We have ourselves a monster head right there. Because we found this, now this pops up. This happens to be, oh great, a misfortune. This was done now, place on end of day. So it would actually be, right over here. It would be right there. On each new day, reveal only 2 challenges instead of 3 how to remove. I'm actually, before I even do anything, I'm going to just get rid of it right now. I'm going to spend one of my muds, and this is gone, because this limits the amount of time that you have for each day. So this would be the end of the day, meaning I would need to find more food. I would need to really have more threats and everything. So no, this is gone. I don't want to have to deal with it. We have spent the mud, which is great. All of that moves down. That also means that there are 5 cards in here now. 4 of them are monsters. And I'm going to say that ends my turn as well. So 1, 2, 3. Well, that ends my spending of stuff, I should say. Whoa, come back here, you. So we've used all those. This triggers, so I'm going to spend a mud. Yeah, get back over there. Spend the 1 branch that we found and 2 water. So 1, 2. That all moves down. And we have also passed it with 1 fire, so we gain a food. Having food is fantastic. I think if I ever get a Disney card, I'll probably take that one first, but because my food rations are doing great, but holy geez, that's also a thing to remember. At times I wish I could put water in this. Anyway, back over here. We know now that a teepee has got to be in 1 spot somewhere around here. Because the teepees are things that are connected to the monster den, and teepees are good because they're the local people within the area. Once you reveal a teepee, you're able to exchange any resource you have for a different resource. Or water, I should say, resource or water. Okay, so with that said, let's see what else we can do. This could be a vine as well, because I know it's in the same column as a rock. I need a vine in order to be able to do the next thing. I really don't want to take that token. Of course, finding a teepee wouldn't be that bad either. And of course, finding a field would be even better in order to be able to not always be fatigued. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do? I have a hunch, just based off of all, that this is a teepee. Because if that's the teepee, then food is always diagonal from a teepee. So that means that's a higher chance that one of these 2 would be food. But I also think this is a teepee because of our special rule, where it's like teepee, teepee, fortress, and wood, which I need to know the fortress because I have to know ways in order to kill the Minotaurs. So I actually think this is a fortress as well, which means one of these 2 would then be the other fortress. And then that would make this a wood, which also would follow in the correct path for how a wood falls into place. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to say this is a teepee, and it is. Boom! There's a teepee. We have found our first teepee. I'm just going to put this in there right now. There's really no other point for these tokens other than, huzzah, I have found a teepee. All right, so I'm going to put this here for right now. What do I need? I know where mud is. I know where stuff is. I'm actually going to do the exchange. I'm going to take this out, come here, and I'm going to gain, oh my goodness, I'm going to gain wood. I'm going to gain wood. I still have my portable pedestal, so I can exchange some stuff for a vine if I need be. Do I want to use my jar right now? Maybe not yet. Let's just keep looking. Okay, so then I am super confident that that is a fortress, and then I am super confident that that is also a stick right there. Which, because of that being a fortress, what I'm going to do then is on this turn, I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Because I can, because it's coming off from the teepee up this way. Yep, thought so. Okay, so there's the fortress. Fortress, can I just lean it on here? Again, there's no point to these tokens other than the question mark side, but hey, you know what? Just lay there. There we go, fine. All right, so this is going to go here, and now we get to come up here to this deck. There are 4 cards within that deck, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to see how to kill a Minotaur. The first way we need to kill a Minotaur is to make a trap by discarding a wood, a vine, and exhausting any one of your gear. This is a free action that you can do at any time should a Minotaur be on the field. We're going to leave that right there. That is one of 3 ways to kill a Minotaur, which is, of course, one of 3 ways in order to win the game. So now we know that's wood, and know that is wood for a fact, which again is going to make things a lot easier in the future, especially with Lewis's ability. I then also know that either here or really here are food. I mean, technically speaking, that could be food as well. Oh man, I mean, could they do fortress right next to each other? They could. It's possible. I'm going to take this one. I think it's food, but I actually think it's more of a vine. And if it's a vine, that's a little bit better for me. So let's just see. 1, 2, 3. It's a vine. Sweet. All right. That's really, really good. Fantastic. Okay, so that is number 3. And here is our vine. All right. So now, with all of this the way it is, it's going to be the end of the day. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this berry here. We're going to go over to our jar, and I'm going to exhaust it, and we're going to pop the berry bloop right in there. So now, at the beginning of the next day, I'm going to have 2 berries instead of 1. I know I have my mortar and pedestal that I could use in order to take like 2 water in order to make something. You know what? Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my mortar and pedestal. I'm going to exhaust it. Please don't be this bad, but I know how to get water pretty easily. So I'm going to take both of these water. We'll toss them up here. I'm going to take a vine. I think vines right now are like my rarest resource that I have. These are, well, we know what these are, for future things that are going to come out. And I'm going to be spending a lot right now. I'm going to be spending this wood, this vine, and this water, and this, berry. So I have a lot that I can spend on right here. It's just a matter of not only resource management, but it's also like the figuring out in the future. I need that in order to kill the Minotaur. That's what I need that for. Okay, no, good idea. Let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3 out. We'll go 1, 2. Actually, we'll put these right back up here. Oh, and just out of curiosity, if you're looking at it, yes, there is a flower and there's a mushroom up here. These are not used in either one of, I don't think they're used in the flora either, actually. In other expansions, these are used, and like the vines are not used. So it's just kind of future-proofing itself for the other expansions and everything, which again, I really, really, really want. Did that, and I think I now I gotta take another water. Okay, whoosh. So I did that. That's done. I get a berry. Well, I got a berry before this was done. Oh no, and then again, as I just realized right now, this is revealed immediately, so shoot. All right, maybe. No, I used it already. Oh yeah, see, I need water now. Oh man. Oh, see how fast I can go through water? Okay, yeah, no. Lewis is gonna help me a lot because I know I'll be able to get 2 water back for sure. That is it for the consequences for the day's challenges. We are all done. We need to feed our troops. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone eats, everyone is happy. Hooray, all that. Now we go to the night phase. If there are no monsters in play, I have to reveal a threat card. So we're going to go over here and flip this. Haha, there's our first Minotaur. We have revealed him during the night. So that means we have to go to the northernmost explored path in path priority. And what path priority means is basically from here down, berries, twigs. It's on the back of the rule book as well. This is path priority from top to bottom. He is going to find the northernmost unexplored spot and then basically park right there. That's him. Each of the Minotaurs actually have their tokens that match their card. I'm going to put him right here just as a threat, and it's the northernmost one, so he's actually going to drop down right here. Now, what does this mean? This means that if I explore anything within this row or this column, then this Minotaur is going to attack me, and he's going to force me to discard any one resource or resource or water. So, with that said, we've now finished all this. We can unexhaust everything here. This gains me 2 berries. I have food for days, apparently now, which goes by very fast, but my water is coming down really quickly. In addition to that, we do 3 more challenges. First, rats in the walls. Oh God, we need a skull, a vine, and water, and by doing that, we gain a token, one of these tokens, God, I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I'll look at them again what's in the middle of it all. But yeah, so no matter what, we're gaining that, and that's terrible, but it is what it is. All right, what do we got here? Oh, you actually shouldn't be in here. Whoops, I didn't mean to have that in here. This is a symbol for the training mission, so you, my friend, do not belong in the challenges. You go back into the box. Here we are. This is what we got. Monster tracks. For a wood, a skull, and a water, if we pass it, we can look at one path adjacent to an already existing path. If it's a skull, we lose a water. So if I know it's not a skull, then I can just look at it to double check what it is, and I can use various guessing abilities in order to burn things along. I really don't want to fail that, because that's, again, more water and more of these sample tokens, right? That's right. I believe that's right. Yeah, don't need any more of those for sure. And the last one over here is quicksand. Oh, goodness. Either a wood or rock, vine. Look at all those 2 vines and everything. Water, and then I gain mud for doing it. Only 2 hours in order to escape the quicksand. Okay, so before I do anything else, and I know there's a bunch more water and everything, I bet you, so I'm going to also say that this spot right up here is also water for sure. But the problem is, in order to be able to get to it, I gotta kind of do other things. Actually, what I am going to do for my first run is I'm going to use, I have enough for the rats in the walls, which is really crazy, but I should be okay. Let's go ahead and use my compass. I'm going to use my compass, and we're going to make this call right here that this is mud. So I'm going to say, oh, you are mud for sure. Are you mud? No, 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 I did not lose that. It's a teepee. Oh, that's interesting. Uh-oh. Because I had covered the Minotaur on that spot was water, so I thought water was next to water. That was my fault. That was completely and utterly my fault for figuring that out. I should have done otherwise. But because of that, at least I had the teepee. It goes back over here. Well, no, I'm not going to do that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rock and I'm going to exchange it using the teepee for mud, because I need it right now. I do lose a resource because that is, I'm going to lose one of these food. I'm just going to lose one of these food. I can afford that right now instead of the water because of the Minotaur. What I am now going to do is first and foremost say that this is definitely the other fortress. So wherever one of these is not the fortress, it is up here. It is not water. Get that out of here because here's water right here. Adjacent to a stick, adjacent to, what is that? Mud. And then, of course, mud. This is going to be a rock right here for sure. I did the teepee, hooray. One of these other things is going to be a monster den. What I am going to do, though, is we're going to kill this Minotaur by making a trap. We need to get rid of 1 mud, 1 vine, and I need to exhaust any 1 item. I'm actually going to exhaust my jar. I know I can get extra resources for it, but I'm pretty confident that Lou's going to be able to help me with that. Plus, my medicine can always bring it back. So, 1, 2, 3... And you, my friend, have been defeated. Yes, that is 1 of 3 Minotaurs gone. Put you right over here, and this guy is very, very dead. All right, fantastic. So that helps a lot, because again, that is 1/3 of the way there. You go up here, you go up here, and now I can continue exploring those areas and not have to really worry about, the Minotaur hitting me. All right, so I know there's a monster den here or here. I definitely should try to find a, I'd love to have a shelter point at some point, but at the same time, not really. I'm going to keep moving to the left over here. I haven't done any rows or other things yet. I don't really need to get rid of any threat cards. I'd rather do the columns. Yeah, let's just first do this. I'm going to choose this one. I'm not going to make any guesses or anything about it. I think it's either food or a fortress, but whatever this is, I'll know that the other ones, like, if this is food, then I know that's a fortress, and then that's a fortress. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a stick. I didn't even realize it was wood. That's interesting. But this is absolutely a fortress, and this has got to be a fortress as well, which means that this or one of these two spots is a teepee. So let's just do that. I'll put that here and I'll put that here. So one of those two spots is definitely a teepee. I'll pull that out because I may need that for something a little bit later. Which actually, no, that doesn't mean that so wood could be, or water could be something around here as well. Okay. As my brain goes crazy, we put that right there. We do gain a stick, or I keep calling it a stick, wood. Would be nice to find a shelter point because then I'd be able to what is it? Build something. Oh no, I need a vine. No, I need a vine first. Wish I knew more about like where other water is, which I probably could figure it out a little bit better. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and use Lewis's ability. And I'm going to explore here, which should be water, right? Yep, okay, good. So now I got 2 water. So I'm going to take both of those waters, which I would have gotten right now, and instead of putting them on the board, I'm going to flip my mortar and pedestal, which I'm glad I didn't, pestle, whatever it is, and glad I didn't use that before for killing the Minotaur. And instead of those, I'm going to transfer that into a vine, because that's going to go here, and then that's going to basically complete this. I don't want to lose too much water because then I will be dead. Let's go ahead. I got to remember food too, so I got to hold on to that. Take those 3, spend the skull, spend this, and a water. And I hate the fact that I get this sample, but it goes here regardless. It'll always go to the far right spot. So it will eventually be in your fatigue spot, but it's really annoying in that case. We finished that, and we're not fatigued, so I don't lose any additional water, which is great. All right, so let's start kind of figuring out stuff here. I have 3 things in order to get. I have to find the monster den, which unfortunately is just kind of an unfortunate thing because that's how I need to pass the monster tracks, but it's still going to cost me water. I know one of these 2 has got to be the monster. I actually think it's probably this one, to be honest with you. I have the stick already. I have to also figure out where more water is, and I really believe I can figure out where the rest of the sticks are. So we got 2 spots right here at the end. This one has to be the stick, only because I keep calling it a stick. It's the wood. Again, because there's none here and none there, because this one would cover that row, that one would cover that row. So that's that column. So then this column, this is the only column I have left. Well, I got these 2 columns that I have left. That could be wood, and all the way up here as well. So I know 1, so it's either you, I'm running out of twigs, you, or one of these 2. If this is the monster den, which I think I'm going to go for this one, if this is the monster den, then I know that is the wood here, and then this is the wood up here, which would be very good. So let's just do that. I don't have anything else. I could redo something, but I'm just going to go ahead for it. Here we go. Nope, we got a fortress right there. Okay, so fortress then is right here, which would then mean that's the twig right there, and then that's right there. And then that means that could be the monster den up there. All right, so we put this right here, and we get to see how to kill another Minotaur. Oh God, discarding a destiny card, food, and water. I don't have a destiny card right now. I'm close, but man, we're getting there. Watch that. That's going to be it. That's going to 100% be the, what is it? If that's going to be the monster den, I'm just going to make these calls right now. That's going to be the monster den. This is going to be food. I know this one down here is food as well. And I'm trying to figure out where some water is going to be. I mean, I think this is water. I really think this is water right here. This has got to be a TP right here as well in order to help things out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and exhaust my medicine to unexhaust Lewis, to re-exhaust him, to grab this. Because if this is water, that would be great because I need water back in my canteen. I really think it is. Please be water. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Okay, well, it's not water, unfortunately. I can build a shelter somewhere. Oh, that's not going to help at all. Everything's unexhausted. I don't have anything else in order to do anything. I'm just going to grab this because I think this is the monster den. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that was the monster den. All right, so with that said, it is the final point for the day right there. This will move down. That'll go here. I do have enough to complete it, which is great. And I'll only lose 1 water instead of 2, but now I am getting dangerously close to the end of my canteen. Furthermore, we get to draw from here, which is another Minotaur. So he's going to go right there onto the spot. They all do the same thing. It's just they are either on the skull terrain that it popped up on, or at night it goes to like north, south, east, or west priority. It'll tell you on the card for the path. So that's really it, and it's this one right here. Okay, so you are right here. This is, I'll put you over here, Minotaur number 2. I don't have a destiny card. I don't have a destiny card in order to kill you. I would need to do this in order to gain the destiny card, but I would lose a resource in the process. Not that it matters right here, because what we're doing now is I'm going 1, 2, and water for 3 to spend on this. Now, what I can do is look at one path adjacent to an already explored path. If it's a skull, lose water. I know which one to do. I am also not fatigued. What I want to look at is probably one of these down here. Just based, again, off of theoretical, like, following it off and everything. This has got to be a vine, because vines are always within the same column of rock. So we have a rock right here, and we've explored everything else. No vines. That has to be a vine. That has to be a vine right there. I want to know what some of these are. I think this is water. I really do. And if it is, then I should be okay. Man, I hope. All right, I'm just going to look at this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Looking at this one. Okay, so that's water. All right, I peeked at it. It was water. Fantastic. I know that's water. It's not going to help me right now. Hopefully on the next turn it'll help me. We'll see. I need that vine. Oh my God, I need that vine. I don't even have anything to exchange out in order to get it. Because if I get the vine, then I'll be able to survive this round. I want to grab the water too. Oh man. All right, so now I got to figure out where I want to go. Okay, so there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to get to that vine at all before that card goes off, because I only have 2 shots, and I know that's a water. I'm going to fail it. I need the extra water, so I got to just take my first turn here. As much as I want the water, I have to do this. I have to do this. I don't even have a destiny card to kill the thing, but, it is the Minotaur, but I will soon, eventually, I hope. I also know that this has got to be food right here. I have plenty of food. Like, I have food for days, which is great. You normally don't get that. I know that that's a stick, which I can use for something a little bit later. I'm just going to grab this one, and that's going to be the end of it. Oh, a hill. Okay, well, that's shows that then. I know that, hey, there's the fortress right there, as I knew it would be. I guess I could just grab this. Just grab the other fortress. Why not? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Haha, look at that. We knew that was fortress. So we've discovered all 3 fortresses, and we know how to defeat all 3 Minotaurs. So we'll put this right here. We'll flip this. 2 sticks and a skull. Okay, so that's how you beat that guy. All right, so we'll put that right up here, and that's gonna be the end of the day. The quicksand didn't work, or it did work, I guess you could say. So we did all that. We gain a sample, and we lose 2 water. We're not dead. We're not dead yet. We still have chances to hopefully get some water, but that is that right there. And of course, we're not fatigued either, so hooray. Oh my God. Okay, we're running low. We're very much running low. Spending a food in order to feed our troops. There is a monster on the field, so we don't have to worry about that. But now everything resets to a new day. Let's see what our 3 challenges are. Great. Mud. Oh, no, we failed that, so I didn't even get any mud. One water. Oh my god. If I had a shelter, I'd get a destiny card. Great. And that's the landslide loses the shelter, so that wouldn't even have mattered anyway. And then the windstorm. Build a reinforced wall. Man, all this stuff would have been great if it was a little bit sooner, but that's tough right there. Ugh. All right, so we know all this comes back as well. So now we got chances in order to be able to do stuff. Like I have my compass and everything that I can like grab certain things. I wish I had more ability. The jar probably would have been great to have some extra stuff, but it is what it is. The problem is finding water. It's finding water. I have no idea where water could be at all. It could be here. Could very well be there because that's adjacent to sticks and everything. That could also be mud. That might be mud. Do I want to try to chance it with you? No, I'd rather know if that's, man. All right, I'm just going to go for this one. I have to know what this is, and I'm not going to get hit by anybody. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, flip. It's a stick. All right, I thought it was a stick. I had a feeling it was. All right, moving this down. We'll put this right here. And then this goes up here. I might be able to make it. So I know for a fact that that's a stick. No doubt. I don't know if there's any more mud on the field. That's the other problem. I don't think there's any more mud on the field at all. Because this is your mountain range right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And there's mud, mud, mud. 3 muds. So that's a minimum of 3 mud there. Oh, goodness. Okay. I guess what I can do is I can compass and Lewis and say water right here. I mean, very well water could be here too, but I'm just going to make it. If this is water, I don't think I'm still in it. But if it's not, then I've lost. So 1, 2, 3, water. Okay, it is water. Fantastic. All right, so I know I get 2 water now because of Lewis's ability, and the sun thing that I pulled from that does not go there. Now I need to figure out how to make mud, which I can using my pedestal, mortar and pedestal, by getting rid of both of these and turning it into mud. Problem is I still want to explore stuff and see what else I can find in order to be able to like kind of grab things. So I know that's a stick, that's right there. I know that's food, that's food. The problem is he went down so early and like blocked this entire area off that it's just so hard. And I can't get a destiny card either until I have other things. I'm just going to take this because I know it's food. Yep, there's the food right now. And then I'm just going to use my mortar and pedestal to make some mud. So actually I'm going to take both of my food because I know where there's 2 food on the field. So I'm not really too worried about that right now. Famous last words as I've been saying. And then have a mud right here. So with that said, that'll finish me off. We'll take these 2. We'll spend a mud and a water. 1, 2. Where'd all my sticks go? I have a pile of tokens next to me that are just kind of here. So I did that. 1, 2. 1, 2 came off. So we have passed this, which is good. All this comes down. I don't have a shelter, so I don't gain a destiny card, which would have been great to use because I would like to have one of those in order to kill the Minotaur. This isn't looking very good for me at all. It's also a matter of priorities. What is it that I want to do? Like, what's my main goal right now? I need water for sure, but I don't think there's any more water on the field. There might be some water up here, but without the ability to gain water, I am really, really messed up right now. I only have a piece of wood and 1 water, which isn't even going to help me at all for the next thing. I have 3 turns in order to get something. Okay, we're going to try something here. Curious how this is going to work, but we're going to grab this rock right here. We know that's a rock. It doesn't really matter or whatever, but what that does is that opens up an entire row right here. I do get a reward for this in which I can discard a threat card, which I assume just goes on the bottom of the deck, like not completely gone, because otherwise that would be terrible. And then I draw a new one. All right, so let's just put these in here for right now. Move these stupid samples over, plop that right there. We'll put this right up here. And then we're going to take this Minotaur, we're going to put him on the bottom of the deck, and then we're going to draw a new threat card. That also takes him off the board, which is very, very helpful because I need to get up there, and he was blocking that completely. which is another Minotaur right here. Now, this is the southernmost explored path through path priority, which of course is right here in a spot that I really wanted to go because I wanted to get that branch in order to get a destiny card in order to kill him. But oh man, that stinks. But at the same time, that's okay because now at least I can explore a little bit more up this way in order to be able to hopefully open up other things. So we'll put him right here. Now, I do have 2 turns left, so let's just see what we can get. I know this is a stick, so we're just going to grab this one first. We know that's a stick right there, for sure. There are other ways for me to get sticks and things along that way, so we'll move that down, and we'll put this stick right here. I could use my mortar and pedestal in order to swap this. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to take our next exploration thing and pop this one open. Oh, a water! Ooh, that might have just saved the game. Probably not, but hey, I'll take it. Oh, good. Okay, so that actually will cover this completely then. Okay, awesome. I mean, that's 3 right there, which is fine. I can get a destiny card. So I can grab one of these 2 destiny cards right here. I know where there's food, so the moss is not whatever. Make an ally. Discard getting any 1 resource or water you currently have. I'm going to immediately take that and discard it just to gain a water because I need to have some water back. I'm then going to also use my medicine to exhaust that, to exhaust my mortar and pedestal again, because these 2 are going to go back up here. Whoops, you are a stick that go there, and I'm going to gain this. Now, we're going to end the landslide right here. Boom, 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 boom. That's gone because I've spent these 1, 2, and 2 water. Wow, I can't believe I'm still going. This is insane. And then I lose my shelter, which I didn't have anyway, and I gain a stone, which is good because I need the stone for that one. All right, moving right along. We do get another destiny card up here. Discard all sample tokens from your knapsack. All right, let's move right along over here. I'm going to start going up this way, so we'll grab this. I think it's food. It is food. Okay, so we'll move this down here over 1. We'll put the food here, and we'll drop that right there. Fantastic. What's funny is now that I also realize it, I realize that that's a monster den as well, which is going to come in very handy next turn because that should put the last Minotaur out on the field that we need to kill. However, before I do that, I have 2 turns, and I know that's food, and I know I have to discard. Oh, I need 2 water. Hold on. I also need food in order to live. That moss is looking better and better, even though I have a food right here. Not that I can exchange anything, but I do need mud. I wanted to flip the TP in order to exchange food for mud, but I need water. Problem is I need water. Let's flip this one. I'm going to flip this one right here as far as my next turn goes, and it's another spot for, what is it? Which I guess, yeah, would have made sense based off of the rules that a shelter point would be here for a field, but that just wasted a turn. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do this. We're either going to dehydrate ourselves or we're going to starve to death. It's A or B. There's no in between. Unless this happens to be water. It very well could be water. So if this is water, we're still alive. So we're going to do this. Boom! Oh my God, it's water! Oh, fantastic! Okay, so the water goes here. And this goes here. No, it's not going to matter at all because I won't have what I need in order to do this. Yes, I can do my destiny thing right here. Discard all sample tokens from your backpack, which would have been great and all. But I don't have another turn in order to activate a TP. Well, let's just see. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Here we go. Ready? We're gonna flip the destiny card that's on top. See what this is. When you gain wood from exploring, gain another wood. That would have been a destiny card we had, but that doesn't really matter because we're not gaining another wood as I don't have the ability to do it. Because now this is done. I have a rock, 2 water, but I don't have the mud, nor do I have any way of doing it. And I would need to get rid of 3 water. I have 2, can't do a third. So that means, my friends, we are dehydrated and that is game over. Water is the most valuable resource you can ever have within this game. And in the beginning, you think you have a ton of water all the time, but then all of a sudden, the further it gets along, the more water you need for the various challenges and everything, and then it just kind of falls off from there. Just out of curiosity on the ones that I knew, so I knew this had to be a TP based off of this because that was the other wood one. So we knew this was going to be a TP. Yep, TP right there. So then this was the other monster den. Yep, there was the other monster den as I knew. I knew the mountain range was up here. I just want to see if this was a mountain or not. Yes, it was. Okay, there you go. So I knew that was a branch, and then this was, we knew this was a vine already, and this was, yeah, wood. Okay, so this was actually our last twig there. And that's it. There was actually no more mud at all. There was only these 3 spots for mud through the whole thing. And I'm not even going to bother looking at what's up in there, up in that corner, because it is what it is at this point. But there you have it, everybody. Core of Discovery from the world of Manifest Destiny, going against the Fauna, which are the giant minotaurs that roam the area that we must defeat in order to be able to do various things. I will be going ahead and playing Flora at some point, where we have to defeat a giant plant that has its own crazy mechanic to it of like exploring through the jungle, trying to find a super powerful potion in order to burn it up and everything, and then go from there. The Minotaurs are the easier ones. I have, again, this is now, what is that? Did I say my 5th or 6th time playing this? I've only won it once. This is a tough game to win, especially when you forget rules or do things like I did, like covering stuff over, and because you're not looking at it, you're like forgetting rules and everything. But you know, you're not always going to be 100% accurate in terms of your guesses. And when you do, that's when things go crazy. Like this TP being here kind of screwed me up a little bit. But overall speaking, I love it. This is a great game to play. You're really putting a lot of thought process into each one of your things. And just my mindset of figuring out the puzzle of the board is half the fun of the game, especially when I know something is under a particular token that I put down and I knew that I was right. That's, regardless of losing, having that feeling is amazing, and I love it, and I cannot recommend this game enough. But with that all said and done, guys, let me know what you thought of this game down in the comment section below. Did you back this when it was on Kickstarter a while ago? And if you did you get any of the expansions or anything along that ways? Inside of the actual box itself, I love this because they actually have spaces in here for the various expansions. So the floor is right here. So everything unique to Flora would be under here. Fog, I don't think I will get. This is like you have to figure out the rules as you go along, so it works for all the other one. Obviously, those are empty. I want the Insecta really bad, and I want this Vameter also. The Insectas are giant bugs that you got to kill. This is a giant Thunderbird that you got to hunt down in order to hit. And then this guy is like a hidden trader mechanic, Maldorando or whatever it is. He has a few other unique things over to the side as well. These are the tokens for the Flora. It's just so cool. I love it. I love the way this box is designed. I love the game, the way this game is made. Here's where all your sons would go. So awesome, so awesome. I will eventually do a Let's Talk About for this in order to dive into a little bit more of the details of the components and everything. But regardless of anything, based on what you guys saw, what do you think? Is this something you'd be interested in? And then, of course, would you like me to see? I'm going to do Flora anyway, but if I manage to get the Insecta and the other thing, would you like to see those as well? Because the more treks we go through with Lewis and Clark, the more excitement we're going to have. I also think when I do Flora, I'm going to do a 2-player mode instead of just 1 player doing everything. So regardless of all of that, thank you guys so much once again. In order not to miss any future Core of Discovery hidden action, the hidden path action, I guess you can say, within the world of Manifest Destiny, or anything else I put out for you to enjoy, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, there are ways to do that down in the description section below. As I mentioned before, checking this out on the Off the Page Games website, Noble Knights Games. Thank you so much for them helping sponsoring the channel, giving me those affiliate links in order to help this channel grow out that way. All very appreciated. But regardless of all of that, no matter what, your view, your like, your share, commenting on this video, subscribing to the channel go a long, long way to helping it grow. And of course, bringing more and more attention to great games like this all over the place. Guys, thank yourselves again. Thank yourself. I thank you. Thank yourselves for being here. Thank yourself. You are all amazing. Take care of yourselves and each other. We're a family forever, gaming together. Until next time, keep exploring and watch out for those monster dens. See you all next time.